Module 2, Ecology and Science. From reading from the Fringes, there is a poem by Elizabeth Bishop titled The Fish. The Fish is a poem that was first published in 1946. The poem is a dramatic monologue that describes the speaker's encounter with a large fish that she has caught while fishing. This poem is rich in imagery, symbolism, and it explores the themes of nature, the passage of time, and the human experience. The poem begins with the speaker describing the fish that she has caught. She describes the fish in great detail. Through her interactions with the fish, the speaker becomes captivated by its strange beauty and develops a bond with it, leading to an epiphany where she realizes her empathy and identification with the creature. This ultimately leads her to release the fish back into its natural habitat, signifying a shift from anthropocentric to an ecocentric perspective. The poem is celebrated for its vivid imagery, figurative language, and ecological consciousness, making it one of Bishop's most notable works. Elizabeth Bishop was born in 1911. She was a talented American poet, short story writer, and painter. She lost her father at a very young age, and her mother was institutionalized due to mental illness, leaving Bishop to be raised by her maternal grandparents in Nova Scotia and later by relatives in Boston. Bishop received her education in the Walnut School for Girls and Vassar College, where she met Marianne Moore, a poet who became her lifelong friend. The poem The Fish by Elizabeth Bishop. The Fish by Elizabeth Bishop, reading from the Fringes, Module 2, Ecology and Science. I caught a tremendous fish and held him beside the boat, half out of water, with my hook fast in a corner of his mouth. He didn't fight, he hadn't fought at all. He hung a grunting weight, battered and venerable and homely. Here and there, his brown skin hung in strips like ancient wallpaper, and its pattern of darker brown was like wallpaper, shapes like full-blown roses, stained and lost through age. He was speckled with barnacles, fine rosettes of lime, and infested with tiny white sea lice. And underneath, 2 or 3 rags of green weed hung down. While his gills were breathing in the terrible oxygen, the frightening gills, fresh and crisp with blood that cut so badly, I thought of the coarse white flesh packed in like feathers, the big bones and the little bones, the dramatic reds and blacks of his shiny entrails, and the pink swim bladder like a big peony. I looked into his eyes, which were far larger than mine, but shallower and yellowed, the irises backed and packed with tarnished tinfoil, seen through the lenses of the old scratched isinglass. They shifted a little, but not to return my stare. It was more like the tipping of an object towards the light. I admired his sullen face, the mechanism of his jaw, and then I saw that from his lower lip, if you could call it a lip, grim, wet, and weapon-like, hung 5 old pieces of fish line, or 4 and a wire leader with the swivel still attached, with all their 5 big hooks grown firmly in his mouth. A green line frayed at the end where he broke it, 2 heavier lines and a fine black thread still crimped from the strain and snap when it broke and he got away. Like medals with their ribbons, frayed and wavering, a 5-haired beard of wisdom trailing from his aching jaw. I stared, and victory filled up the little rented boat. From the pool of bilge, where oil had spread a rainbow around the rusted engine, to the bailer rusted orange, the sun cracked thwarts, the oarlocks on their strings, the gunwales, until everything was rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. And I let the fish go. Thank you.